Alright, halfway house. 61 Buick, Electra 225. 6-window. Rivy, or whatever they call them. Basically, I guess it's like a sedan roof, with but it's a hard top. Excuse me. It's windy. This oak's kind of kicking my ass. The oak doesn't usually bother me, but anyway. This thing's got to go. Got the 323 open drive line out of it. Got the 1960 390 torque tube drive line back in it, or a third member. Obviously, I'm going to put the torque tube and all that bullshit in it. Which I guess that 390 was from a 3-speed car, which is pretty cool. I assume it's the same car I got the 3-speed pedals from. But anyways, so this thing, once I get the tires back on it, I did get my portholes and my emblems off of it. Now it's ready to go. So if anybody wants this thing, last call. It's going to a local vintage junkyard if nobody wants it. Seriously, got all the, most of the trim. I did sell the grill, got bumpers. Just parts for days, and all the door panels. I do have another dash in the trunk. Just all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. But anyway, swap wheels and tires on it and get the fuck out of here, because those are 49 Pontiac wheels, which I need those. It's windy as shit. That's why the oak's killing me, but mowed the grass, believe it or not. My 59s are still out here. HOA sent me a letter saying I got too many cars, which I do. That's what I've been trying to clean up. And then my neighbor said it was probably the 2 cars out by the yard, or out by the street, so that's why they're complaining. So I'd much rather have them in here, obviously, but just gotten too much shit over the years. Mustang's almost finished. Did the new water pump. Oh, I flushed it about a dozen times. Simple green and vinegar, and you got it all cleaned out. New thermostat, new water pump, new radiator. I do have a new fan clutch for it. I do have a new heater core, but we're just gonna loop it for now and bypass it. But this water pump's a lot thicker than the other one was, so my long bolts aren't long enough anymore. So I got those bolts the other morning, so it's ready to go back together and get the fuck out of here. It's running much cooler now. Even once I did the radiator, as I was flushing it, a lot cooler. Got a bunch of batteries we need to get rid of. Got booster master cylinder. Got a bench, rear bench seat for the back. I need a bolt in the front seats. I did score some new aluminum, well, new to me, front aluminum drums. I think these are, well, one has the guy said they came from the same car, but one has the ball bearing style. The other one looks like it's been converted, but dude had $80 on them. He was like, give me 50, take them. So I was like, $50, fuck it, I'll take them for good spares. But I have one here. I have the other one. I have both spares from that one also. So I got 2 spare sets, bunch of rear spared, whatever. But yeah, I need to bolt in these seats, get the booster and master in. Probably do a tune-up, and I do have a better carburetor for it. I'll buy a starter, because I do have other starters, but I'm like, man, fuck it, just put a Magnum starter on. They're so much smaller, so much better. They're cheap, so just throw that shit on there. But I do have the dash, I don't know if you can see, in good shape, and dash pad. Need to swap those out. It's just a ranch truck, though. I really don't give a shit. But yeah, I need to get this thing out to the ranch. Still sorting through all my slotted mags. 318 headers, or small block headers, A-body, all slip fit shit. They're longer than shit, man. They're like, I swear to God, they're like 5 feet long. I have one side of another 318 A-body. I think that's the passenger side. But anyway, still cleaning up. Nothing new with the 4BT. I get those. These are all the 515s. I need to swap on this turd and get the fuck out of here. Trying to finish the Imperial 61 and the 65 Mustang this weekend. I think with about 15 hours worth of work, I get all 3 of them done. That's the 323 out of the 61. That's an 833 small block. And I don't know what the 3-speeds are called, but that's a 3-speed out of the 71 Scamp. Bought that Scamp for $550. 3-speed car, 318. Go look at it. It's I can turn it over by hand, but it kind of feels like it's got some compression, you know, and hadn't had spark in years. And 3-speed car, whatever. Bought it. Some dude messaged me on Facebook, and he bought it from me. And I pulled the motor, trans, and all the 3-speed parts, so it ended up being a pretty good deal. And then my buddy was like, hey man, I got a 4-speed setup for that thing. Don't have the pedals, so I was like, well, cool, I got the pedals. So he sold me a new clutch, used flywheel, but new clutch, used flywheel, the trans. I have the shifter for it somewhere around here. What else? Clutch fork, all kinds of shit. Then he gave me a Mopar electronic ignition conversion kit for a small block. So it's the distributor, the conversion wiring, and the module and the ballast. And pretty good shit. Gave me a killer price on all that. So ended up pulling the valve cover on the 318, and it seriously looks brand new underneath. So I think that was a pretty good score. Still, you know, dragging stuff out from back there to, you know, put online to sell. Scored these Riviera, 64 Riviera headers. Awesome quality, no clue who makes them. Driver's side's a slip fit. They were on a 64 Rivi, and the dude just wanted to go back to like some stock shit. I think he said these were never run. They look fucking brand new. So I picked those up for cheap, and he was trying to sell them for months, and his original price I thought was good, and then after a couple months he dropped it like, you know, 20% of the price. I was like, well, fuck, I'll take it now for sure. So I got 364 for the 59 wagon. I do have 3 of these 4-barrel 364 manifolds now, which are, I guess they're not really rare. They're just hard to find for sale. I like to get rid of at least one. I think I might trade Matt and Russell at Centerville Auto, maybe for some stick shift parts I need, bell housing or something. I don't know. I mean, I've heard these sell for $700-800 each. Got 3 of them, so I need one for sure. But anyway, I'd like to trade for some shit. Still dragging parts out for online sales. 4BT center dump manifold, kind of tough to find. Anyway, that was the first header I made for the 59. That was my prototype, just to kind of see if I could do it. Not that good. Well, actually, I just chopped up a set of like GTO headers, even the flange, and then bought some tubing from Speedway and kind of just made do. But I was like, well, if I can do this, then I'll start from scratch with a fresh collector and a fresh set of flanges and make everything in between. And so the headers I got under that thing are a lot better, but I wish I would have made them now. I'm a much better fabricator now, but whatever. Oh, my flash, my battery's done, so I don't have a flash, but new water pump, timing chain, all this shit's all back together, new distributor. It's semi-timed, I haven't started up yet. Obviously, it's not all back together, but some of the bolts were just so corroded I couldn't bring myself to putting them back in, so, and they're kind of long bastards, so it took me a while to find them, but I got them. New booster, master cylinders in. Rebuilt, all that bullshit. I got all new heater hoses, all new vacuum hoses. I already did all the ignition shit. Had the original carburetor rebuilt. Heater core actually tested killer. They're like, dude, this thing's badass. You know, run it. Distributor, radiator, record. You know, then painting all this stock shit. But trying to finish all 3 of these cars this weekend. So might happen, might not, but. I learned a long time ago, you got to set a goal, because if you don't ever set a goal, you ain't never going to fucking reach it. So you ain't going to reach all your goals, but fuck, man, if you try hard, you can get pretty close, you know. So anyway, get rid of this turd, that turd, this week. Cross my fingers. Anyway, y'all take it easy. If y'all want a 61 Electra 225, clean Texas title. I ended up selling the motor, which was probably worth more than the whole car. Actually, it was more than I'm asking for the whole car. I do still have the Dynaflow for it. Anyway, if y'all want it, make me an offer. Come get it. I'm probably selling this thing Monday or Tuesday, so let me know. Bye.